I'm Bill Maher, host of HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher, and while the show's been on hiatus for a few months, a lot has been going on. Now, the big news, of course, is the war between Israel and Hezbollah, or as I like to call it, Torah, Torah, Torah. Now, it's been going on for, what, 6 weeks now? I remember when Israel could wrap up a war in 6 days and be home in time for coffee and dessert. See what I mean? Now, some people are criticizing President Bush for not getting involved. Right, because Bush is so great at ending wars. No. No, Bush starts wars. He doesn't finish them. He's not a closer. But actually, President Bush's stance on Israel has allowed me, for the first time in a long while, to say I wholeheartedly applaud my president. Because Americans must ask themselves, what would we do if, say, Canada was taken over by a terrorist organization and started shelling Montana? We'd invade Iraq as usual, but that's not the point. Hezbollah's Grand Poobah, Saeed Nasrallah, has said, quote, "There is no solution to the conflict in this region except with the disappearance of Israel." You know, like David Copperfield is going to jump out and poof, no more Tel Aviv. You know, maybe Arabs and Jews are both crazy, but Jews save a tiny piece of their mind for science, math, and writing sitcoms. Arabs, on the other severed hand, seem to spend all their time handing down grudges from one generation to the next. Oh, sure, Jews carry grudges, but not like Arabs, because when have you ever known a Jew to do heavy lifting? So let's not forget that Hezbollah is a terrorist organization founded on the goal of destroying Israel. Kind of like Mel Gibson after a few drinks. I kid Mel. He says he doesn't hate the Semitic people, just the Jews. Now, I don't know if this will ruin Mel Gibson's career, but I think he can forget about ever winning the Jean Hirschholt Humanitarian Award. And, by the way, what kind of guy tries to talk his way out of a ticket by blaming the Jews? In Hollywood. I mean, when Eddie Murphy got caught with a tranny hooker, he said he was just giving her a ride. It was lame, but at least he wasn't a Nazi. And now people are saying they're looking at the Passion of the Christ in a whole new light. I'm looking at what women want in a whole new light. Because apparently what women want is a good-looking middle-aged man who wants to drive the Jews into the sea. And this is what happens when you spend all your time thinking about things that don't exist. Like Jewish policemen. Or flag burners. Or Katie Holmes' baby. Now, here's what we should be worried about. A planet that's using itself up while wars rage, plagues incubate, and madmen recruit human bombs. Here's what George Bush is worried about. Overtaxed millionaires who can't stop their embryos from marrying a homosexual by the light of a burning flag. So I say, why stop there? Burning the flag is just one offense to our fragile national sensibilities. Why not? No farting in the Statue of Liberty. No cursing within sight of Mount Rushmore. No hand jobs on the 4th of July. Some things are just sacred. And that's the problem with this group of Republicans. They're constantly fighting some supposed trumped-up crisis. When asked recently what he thought was the biggest threat facing America today, Bill Frist said, "Snakes on a plane." George Bush is so anti-science, the only conclusion I can come to is that at some point he was molested by his science teacher. He used the first veto of his presidency against stem cell research, which sent a strong message to the world. You're either with us or with the scientists. And science does matter, as we found out this summer, which was the hottest on record, breaking the record set last summer, which broke the record set the previous summer. This is either global warming or the Earth is floating towards the sun. In Kansas, it got so hot you could burn a book right on the sidewalk. Stray dogs were mating on people's front lawn just to get doused with the hose. I'm telling you, some days it seemed like the world was really coming to an end. And yet, the #1 issue on my mind this summer, what's the deal with Tom Cruise's baby? I mean, finally, they have released some pictures. If I knew they were going to hide the kid this long, I never would have donated my sperm.